Welcome to the Ages of Rock podcast with your hosts Bill Algie, Dennis Talbot, and Alan Tate. We are three guys who have one thing in common, a love of rock and roll. Our goal is to talk about all things rock. We hope you find this show intriguing, funny, and occasionally highly opinionated. Enjoy! Hello, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, and Dennis. This is episode number 285. We're 15 more away from the big 300 coming up, and we got a great surprise for you. We don't know either.
Yeah, Bill's not here.
Bill's not here. Yeah, because Bill quit, so we've got Joe Polo on the show now.
What's up?
No, before the rumor mill starts,
That's a joke.
Bill is going out to see. He thought that Jason Bonham was bigger than Joe Polo, and I don't know why he wanted to go. I don't know. So.
Well, this is the second time in a row he has not done the show when I've come on. The last time was when Eddie Van Halen unfortunately passed away. It was the three of us then.
Yeah.
And then and he sent me a message. Did you guys see that message today?
I did.
Where he was basically like, I promise I'm not avoiding you. Joe, I wanted to be there again, and don't take it personal. Forgot I have tickets for Jason Bonham. And then I wrote, I was pissed when I realized. Oh, no, he said I was pissed when I realized it on Sunday. And then I was going to send him a message that said, I know you don't like me. The other guys told me.
You did say, no, you actually did. You posted something like that. You said something about, I know you don't.
It's okay. Well, I know you don't like me.
Yeah, I know you don't like me.
He's down.
Just stick him a little more.
Heck yeah.
No, he feels bad. He gets his dates confused. Work's been insane for him, so he's been completely confused.
Everybody knows what he's doing right now. He's doing that next Star Wars movie, and he's voicing Yoda. Right. Hello. He looks dead on like that guy forever and ever. Remember the first time we met, and I was like, dude, are you the guy that voices Yoda? Do you remember that or no?
I sort of remember that.
If you guys, the guy's name that voices Yoda, he's also in movies. You ever see Trading Places?
Yes.
Right.
He's the cop that's like, you know what this is? Angel dust, PC. Whatever.
Oh, okay.
Anyway, okay. I can't think of his name. Let's see, voice of Yoda. He also does like Grover. He also does
Grover. Okay.
Frank Oz.
Oh, Frank Oz. Okay, gotcha.
All right.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Look.
He does.
Now I know. Look, this is an audio show, right? I know.
That's video.
Right.
It's video.
Yeah, it's video
okay,
too.
Good.
It's video too.
Good. Oh, I always catch it.
He does. It looks like a thin Bill.
Yeah, and he'll love that. If Bill had dropped 35 pounds, he'd be Frank Oz.
Shit.
I as soon as I saw him, I remember leaning over to Karen and going, dude, I think that guy's famous.
He's wearing a blue
in his own mind.
But this wasn't at the first Rocket Ball, was it?
The very first.
But he works at Best Buy. He can't be famous. He's he's one of those guys that fixes my computers.
That's awesome.
So anyway, we got Joe Polo on tonight to talk a little bit about KISS Kruise 10.
Yeah,
because he's the only one that did it. Other than us three, we stayed at home in Indiana. We didn't go shit. So
Pooney did it too.
What's that?
Sonny Pooney did it too.
I know. A bunch of you guys did it.
He doesn't count though.
No, we don't want Sonny on.
He takes over. Takes over. We just said that.
I love Sonny, but
I have a mute button. Mute. It says, and next to it says, mute the Poonster.
Mute the Poonster. That's awesome.
I'm kidding. Yeah, KISS Kruise 10's in the books. It was a lot of fun. I went there a day early. The weather down here in the South was awful. So my buddy Bruce and I, we got in he drives one of those Hellcats. You know that what I'm talking about? A Hellcat?
Oh yeah, they're fast.
Yeah. When he steps on the gas, this is not exaggeration. Okay. I can feel all the blood in my body hit my spine.
I guarantee it.
I'm pretty sure that we left the Gene Simmons vault one time. He drove 50 yards, and I'm pretty sure when he hit the gas, my soul left my body. I'd heard of the Hellcat before because there's a couple professional wrestlers that I follow that have them, and I was always like, I'm not a car guy. I got a CRV. I think I'm cool in that bad boy. And so anyway, we got in the car at 11 in Atlanta, drove to the airport, got there in an hour for a 2:30 flight, did not land in Miami until 7.
Wow.
And at one point when we finally got on the plane, the pilot comes on and goes, hey, it's going to be about an hour and 20 flight. Hold on one second. Okay, it's an hour delay. And I was like, and he goes, so you have 2 choices. You can stay here on the plane, or you can grab your ID and get off and go get or something and just come back on when you're ready. And I was like,
oh, really? They let you deport?
Mm-hmm.
That's unusual. Usually when you're on that fucker, you're done.
There. I was like, I already feel like I'm in a tube of toothpaste as it is when I'm on a plane.
Right.
So as soon as he said you could go, I was like, all right, well,
bye, Felicia.
See ya.
I'll be in the bar.
Yeah, basically. So we flew down. As soon as I got there, I got to see some friends. It was really awesome. And then I had to wait on Karen because, of course, she's one of those never clock outers. She's always working. And
she's got to pay for your cruise.
Yeah.
Why does everybody do that to me? That is like the joke of everybody just is always busting my balls.
Now, I swear to God, Joe, I have not heard anybody else say that.
No, I'm sure. But you know that, like, I'm not joking. It was just like, it's like the other day on the show, I'm like, yeah, I told Karen that I was thinking about buying a Gene Simmons bass. And I said, but the boat was rocking, right? And I was like, yeah, but I'm not going to get out of bed until this chills. So I sent Christina Vitaliano, I think is her name, the girl that runs the Gene-based company. And I said, do you have any Axe bases left? She said, yeah, I have one. I said, okay, I'll come and look at it in a little bit. But the boat it was rocking pretty bad.
I heard it was rocking really hard the first night.
Yeah, first night. So Karen, she had no problem. She was up going to get drinks and bringing me food. And I was like, hell yeah, this is awesome. And then I said, do me a favor, go up and look at the base and find out what the payment plan is. I need to know if I can afford it. Right. She comes back down. I go, how much was it? She was like, oh, I just bought it. So, of course, when I tell that story on the show, they bust my balls really bad because I'm just like, I'm paying for half. I'm not, you know what I'm saying? This isn't free.
All right.
It's not free. And I paid for, I think about half of the cruise. Oh God, it's just because she's so awesome and everybody's jealous. Fuck all y'all there.
No, my wife's the same way. She'll just do stuff and she would, don't worry about it. You know, it is what it is. You know, and like I said, I'm not judging anything. I think she's a great girl. I've met her. She's awesome.
Yeah. And, hey, Dennis.
Yes.
Can I tell you a secret?
Yes.
I'm not really worried about it.
Yeah, I know you're not. You're like going, and you didn't have to get up out of bed.
No, I would have got sick. I'm terrible about that. I know. Anyway, so we go down there, and Karen finally gets there. We all hung out for a little bit, and then we hit the sack. Woke up the next morning and went to and to be fair to Six Man, I heard horror stories about the Jericho cruise and people getting on it, about some people waiting 5, 6, 7 hours. I don't know how much of that is true,
right?
But I had heard this, and but they had it together. I mean, but by the time I got in line to when I got on the boat, it probably took about maybe an hour and a half.
Right.
And
let me ask you too, though. Was this cruise because of COVID and all the, everything's been going on? Is it the same amount of people,
No.
or was it less amount this year?
Okay, so I don't know the exact amount of people,
Sure.
but I heard it was around a little over 1,600, and I've heard before that it's normally around 2,600. So people from overseas, yeah,
so by half, okay,
and that was overseas. That was overseas people.
Okay.
It was mostly, I think, new people, first time cruisers.
Gotcha.
But it was fun, man. It's always fun. It's always fun. Alan was on there a couple of years ago. We hung out quite a bit. It's a good time, It's the cool thing about that cruise is it's just like any other themed cruise. Everybody's there for the same reason.
Right.
Everybody is either a wrestling fan or a Bon Jovi fan or whatever.
Sure.
They do all these, Kesha has one, so everybody's there and everybody's in a good mood especially because COVID sucked so bad.
Sure.
And it was a lot of fun. I really was super thrilled about it.
No, I was just curious about the I know that a lot of the cruise lines of, they're going 50%, 60%, whatever it was. And I just wondered if it was the same. Cause I mean, looking at the pictures, when you're all at this you're all packed in there. I was like, well, shit, it's a regular cruise.
Yeah.
But I'm guessing that it wasn't, it was still about half of what it was.
Yeah. And I mean, they tried up until the last minute to get people to come on that boat.
Right.
But it just, people couldn't get out of their countries.
Right.
And there was a couple of times, one time is specific at the Sail Away show when Paul Stanley was asking where everybody was from. And then he said, where are you from? And this person said something like Germany or something. He's like, how did you get here?
Right.
They figured out a way, they went, from one place to another and,
right.
Well, worked their way into the country.
Well, that's cool, though.
It was cool. It was cool because Sonny was there too. And you guys, I mean, Alan will tell you, I am social, but I try not to be, because you're stuck on this boat,
Sure.
And so I did not, I mean, if I wanted to, I could have just hung out with Sonny and his crew and, and I would have been around. I'm not like that. I always feel like I'm going to be that guy that as I walk up, everybody's going to be like, oh, this fucking guy again. It's like, really, I worry about that because I don't want to be a pain in the ass. But I met the guys from Shout It Out Loudcast.
Right.
And they were awesome. We had a great time. Good. We sat and ate together a few times. We watched a couple concerts together. I stood with Steven and sang Queensryche, Stephen Wright.
Right.
We sang a bunch of Queensryche together.
Well, that's cool.
Although, to be fair, without Jeff Tate, it's not really Queensryche. I'm sorry.
Queensryche or Jeff Tate was the last show that I saw prior to the
just in the name.
And what city was that in?
Nashville.
In Nashville. And then Atlanta was supposed to be like either the day later or 2 days later. And I didn't go, right? Because COVID had just really kicked off. Right. And I had tickets, so I gave them to Stephen Michaels and his wife. And they still went. And at the Rockin' Pod, I went up to them and I was like, I never asked you, how was the concert? And they were like, my car got broken into, all the windows got
oh my gosh.
I'm laughing, not at their situation.
Right.
Just because it's my fault. I feel so bad. It's like, what can I do? And it's like, they parked from what I understand, they parked in the venue parking lot. Somebody, I think there was a computer in the car, and that's the mistake right there.
Right.
They smashed the windows. I felt so terrible. Wow. I never even heard this. Sonny never told me nothing. Anyway.
Wow.
So the cruise happens. The concerts were great. I thought. Yeah.
No, so anyway, so KISS. So it was the 31st. Actually, Halloween was their. They did 2 shows, right? The 31st
right.
and the 1st.
Right. I was at the Halloween show.
Okay, so you went to the one. So you went to the first one. So let's just run through this real quick. Bill, that's one thing. Bill wasn't here tonight, but that's the reason this whole thing got sparked and wanted you get you on here because he goes, I'm excited.
A little worked up.
He goes, I'm pissed about these set lists, but I'm also excited about these set lists.
Yeah.
So anyway, set list number 1 off of October 31st was Psycho Circus. Number 2, Take It Off. That was the first time since 2012. Watching You, Firehouse, She's So European, Lick It Up, We're One, Cold Gin, All Night. That was the first time they played it since '86. I Love It Loud.
Last time they'll play it too.
Yeah, I Love It Loud. Say Yeah, War Machine, Black Diamond, Detroit Rock City, and Rock and Roll All Night. Also, She's So European and We Are One were their live debuts. They'd never played those live. And I think that's what Bill was talking about. You know, he likes, why in the fuck can they do this shit on the boat, but then they can't do this shit in the stadium?
I think what Bill's complaint was
maybe I got it right.
They're on the boat, and everybody that's on the boat is a bunch of diehard fans. Why aren't they doing more of these off the wall songs? I think that was Bill's complaint.
Right.
Okay, maybe.
Okay, so Paul said, you know, when we're on tour, we gotta play the stuff the average fan knows, but when we're on this boat,
right,
we can do the deep cuts. She's So European. It wasn't good. But I didn't care. I mean,
he should have had the towels. He should have had the talisman play with them, and then they would have it would have been really good.
Well, here's the thing.
Me and Bill heard them sound check She's So European when we went to Fort Wayne.
All right.
And they tore it up.
Here's the thing. When I saw somebody, I guess the Talisman with Gene, you know, I think they did She's So European in maybe Nashville, I want to say. And Gene did, from my memory, the same thing live with those guys as he did on the cruise. So, you know,
got it wrong.
Yeah. Well, here was the thing. And I'm going by memory, but it's She's So European, you know, one of a kind. I found out today, and Gene said, I found out today early. Before, and he did it every time.
Right.
And so once he was early, right, for everything. At one point, Paul is looking at him and like looking at his hands. And then when Gene wasn't catching on, Paul just started smiling. It was like, fuck it. It just kept going. And I'm going to be fair. I got to see She's So European and live. Right. I don't give a shit how bad it was.
You know, here's the thing though, too. And I got to thinking about this because I know that's been one of their big qualms. You know, people are like, oh, well, why not? You know, it's a farewell tour. Why are you not playing the deep cuts? They said, well, we've got a roundabout group of people that are going to be coming to these concerts. Okay, so my thing is, so I got to really thinking and analyzing it, and I'm like going, well, look, if it's really your farewell tour, you're never going to tour again. God damn it, give it to the diehards and play some of these extra songs. You know what? And if these new people that showed up don't know a couple of these songs, maybe they'll go money. Well, and maybe they'll go back and dig in and go back into the catalog and buy these other records again. You know, it's a win-win.
let me be the devil's advocate here.
Okay.
Because while we are all diehard KISS fans and we know all of those deep cuts.
Right.
When I go to see a Journey concert,
right,
Journey's Greatest Hits album, that's what I want to hear live.
Right.
I don't give a shit about their deep cuts. So I get Paul and Gene's point.
Yeah.
I get Paul's point because I don't think Gene cares. He'll play whatever.
Okay.
Right. This is a really good show. I mean, watching you, of course,
fans.
take it off is really good. why they fucking did All Night. I don't know.
Because Alan likes that song and Paul is Alan's favorite fan.
I don't like really. I mean, all the songs you get to pull it out,
fan.
and then they
I
leave
like All Night.
and they leave Say Yeah in there. I mean, that
I don't
song,
understand
fucking
that.
song. That song
Paul-
sucks balls so bad.
Because
Paul-
Paul wants his own anthem.
Yeah,
don't know.
Paul must have a boner for that song because
It's fucking horrible. It's fucking horrible.
it's just I don't know if it's horrible. It's just not.
I don't like it.
It's
I don't,
not
sorry.
shouted out loud.
No,
And
it's
it's not rock and roll all night.
it's fucking terrible. I don't know. I don't like it. Sorry. I'm gonna
Yeah.
be a butthole. All right, so I'm going to go back here to so it was the 31st, 30th. Hold on, we got to go. So here, that was the 31st. Where's my first
November 1st.
I know I'm looking, and I can only pull up Queensryche, Liliac, Toledo. Hold on, I'm looking. Oh, here, let me go back. Go back to the one. Here's what I got to do. There we go. Okay, and then we're gonna run through Bruce's list too, because I think that's it.
You damn right we're going to run through Bruce's list.
Anyway, so November 1st. So you said, Joe, you didn't go to this one?
Nope, I watched it from my room.
Yeah,
But you can watch it.
You can only go to one or the other.
But you can watch him in multiple sites throughout the
Yeah.
boat, right?
Right, yeah.
So it's a closed circuit. Okay.
Yeah.
So Psycho Circus, Let Me Go Rock and Roll, Take It Off, Watching You, Firehouse, Making Love since the first time since 2015. I love that fucking song.
I love that song too. I
All
was
the-
highly disappointed
Yeah,
that it was on night 2, but still I got She's So European.
there you go. All the Way, Cold Gin, Say Yeah, again, War Machine, Lick It Up, I Love It Loud, and Black Diamond, of course, and Encore, Detroit Rock City, and Rock and Roll All Night. Yeah,
I'm pretty pumped
Fucking-
that All the Way is in that set list.
that and fucking drop the Say Yeah. I mean, really, seriously.
And you can
That-
forget them dropping that song. That's
I tell you what, to be honest, I Love It Loud. I that song there, if I didn't hear that song for the rest of my life, it wouldn't hurt my feelings one fucking bit. To be
Yeah,
honest.
it is kind of played out.
It's played out and it's old, and I'm done with it.
But
Name
it's one of
me
those-
one Kiss song that isn't old.
Say yeah.
But it's old and it's old in its own sense. It's new old.
Right. It is new old.
It just
Well, was
sucked from
Say
the
Yeah on
it
Sonic
just
Boomer? Was
sucked
it on
from the
Monster?
very beginning. How's that?
Was Say Yeah
Yeah.
on Sonic Boomer Monster?
Sonic Boom.
So that's
both those-
2009. So
Yeah.
Bill and I
He's
Bill
old,
and I
like
had this
14 years
discussion earlier
old now.
today. We're talking about records, and I'm like going, those are the two records I really don't give a fuck to ever have. I mean, Monster and Sonic Boom. Jeez, I bought both of them on CD, and I'm already disappointed. I don't even know where they're at. I think they got thrown out of the car at some point. But
I think it's on this.
yeah.
This is a bootleg. I don't own the official.
Bill just bought a orange copy of that. I don't know, for like $50. I think he got a bootleg
Yeah.
because they're usually
Uh,
250, 300
Yeah.
bucks.
Say yeah is the last song.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're expensive.
Yeah, they're really expensive.
But I think England put them out bootlegs, colored vinyl.
Okay.
So this one's purple, and I have every color but red, so that just pisses me off.
Gotcha. So,
You know
I
what-
mean, before we get to the set list and everything, also, you snagged a short interview, question and answer session with Gene Simmons.
Yeah.
How did that come about? How did you work that out?
Okay.
I listened to
so-
it today on the way from home from work. It was actually
Thank
really
you.
cool.
Thank
Yeah.
you. We bought the bass.
That was part of the base thing.
Okay,
you paid for that interview.
Well, okay, so we bought the bass,
Okay.
and every time I go in to meet Gene, and it's been a couple of times now, I
Sure.
always clam up,
Dude,
I
been there,
clam
done
up.
that.
I don't know why.
You
And-
haven't
but
cried,
the
though.
question
You-
is,
you
Joe,
haven't
did
cried.
you cry?
haven't
No, I didn't cry.
I've teared up one time.
Let me tell you, they're
Motherfuckers.
never gonna let you down with that.
I
And
know.
it's just gonna go on forever.
You know what though?
So-
Fuck it. I don't give a shit.
So I was So here's the thing, and I'm going to give you guys a visual. I'm in the shower, and
Okay, I'm trying to forget this. Go ahead.
I'm literally sitting there going, what am I going to ask him? What am I going to talk to him about? And then I just went, maybe I'll ask him if I can do an interview.
There you go.
My biggest fear, and I know this is rotten, man, but I don't want Gene Simmons or Paul Stanley or Ace Frehley. Peter Criss has already told me no once, and it wasn't anything to do with an interview. You guys know it was for a bumper, right. And his girl kind of snapped on me about it. But
that's been known to happen to a lot of people. It's not Peter.
No, I know, but I have one from every member.
Sure.
Except for the chick that lives in Tennessee. I don't have that one. And
oh God. Use the right pronoun. I love you.
Yeah. I don't want to get canceled.
She wears a pantsuit. I'm sorry, and has a purse.
Yeah.
It's a she. It's a she.
She's a she, yeah.
Does she
anyway,
want my moonlight?
Let's do it together. Okay. So all right. So I go in there. The people before me, I started to get a little confidence. I don't want Gene to go, look, I don't have any time. I'm sorry. I don't want to hear no. I'm not saying, hey, we just spent, this amount of money on this base. Do what I say.
Bitch.
I get it. But I'm really as phony as I am on my show and being so outgoing, I'm really kind of, I'm kind of a recluse. So I just walked up and said, I've been doing a KISS podcast for 8 years. And this is my only chance to get you on the show. Can I do an interview with you? He goes, go.
How awesome is that?
That is badass.
And
hopefully you were prepared. You had all this shit ready.
I wrote down a whole bunch of questions.
Good deal.
And I knew that if I was going to get the opportunity to talk to him, it wasn't going to be for very long.
Right.
I mean, these things usually last 10 minutes,
At most, yeah.
Pictures, autographs, questions. Now, I will tell you that I went. My buddy Bruce bought a base a few cruises ago, and we actually went to Gene's suite. And Shannon came in, and he served dessert, right. And we were the last people to go through and meet him. So we were in there probably 30, 45 minutes, maybe even an hour. And by the end, we were really, we had really been in there, and I asked him a couple questions then, but I didn't record anything,
Sure.
So I knew the biggest complaint that we all have, every one of us, is every interview is exactly the same.
Right.
Every single time. So I wanted to be able to ask him 10, 15 questions and just get one-word answers. And kind of look at the other side and see something that we didn't see. So, right. My questions were.
But unfortunately, you don't get one-word answers from Gene Simmons.
Fuck no.
I thought about that when you first asked it. I'm like, going, this is going to be longer than he thinks because he's not going to answer these one-word answer these fucking things.
I'll tell you, I challenge you to do this. Go back when you get a chance and listen to the interview. Right. I say favorite Beatle, and he goes, favorite Beatle depends. And you can hear me go, oh God. Like that.
And you're like, here comes the depends joke.
I'm gonna get one freaking question before they chuck my ass out of this place. So, but he answered it quick. Favorite Beatle record, favorite movie, favorite actor, favorite horror movie, favorite non-horror movie. And then I hit him below the belt by asking him his favorite meal that his mom ever cooked.
I was surprised whenever you said that. And then favorite worst meal. And I'm like going, wow.
Worst meal your mom ever cooked. Right. When I said that, you caught his reaction. He said, why are you doing this?
Right.
Because I wanted to know. That's personal, man. That's
That is
not
personal.
right.
That is
That's
personal.
not.
Nobody's ever asked that.
Nobody's ever asked that question.
No.
I guarantee I'm the first person to ever do it in his 50-year career.
Right.
Yeah, when your mom cooks for you, what do you like? What did you like? What you didn't like. And then I asked him, have you contemplated what's going to happen at the end of the band? Now, here's the thing. He said no. And he said no. I asked him, had he thought about what he's going to do? Has he stared at the ceiling and looking at it and going, what's going to happen, now? And he said, no, I have so many irons in the fires. And then he said, really what I wanted to hear,
Right.
which was, I'll miss it.
Right.
It's like graduating high school or moving to another town. You're going to miss your friends. You're going to miss your blah, 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 which is really what I wanted to hear.
Right. But like
And
he
then-
said, he'll be excited about the new things coming up and everything. But no, I did like he did get more personal toward the end of that question. Now, of course, it's like, I'm not going to do that because, I'm Gene Simmons and I do this and blah, blah, blah,
But when he said, he was going to miss, his friends.
Sure.
That's the real Gene Simmons right there. That,
Right.
It's like, I understand that he's a businessman and I also understand that he's probably shrewd. I'll never see that side of him. I don't know shit about business, but which is obvious, but I believe that out of every member of the band that I've met, Gene has probably the biggest heart. And when I've talked to him a couple of times, like when I met him a few years back, I knew in his book that he mentioned being a little boy and watching Gorgo movies, which was like a British version of Godzilla. And I found a Gorgo comic book on the same day I was listening to the damn him read his book, while I was driving. I went into an antique shop and there was a Gorgo. I was like, get the fuck out of here. I'm in the Matrix. I don't care what anybody says. That's some bullshit right there. It was like $3 first issue. I picked it up and I thought, one day I'll meet Gene Simmons and I'm going to give him this. And when I did, it was, this is for me. And I'm like, yeah. And he's like, all right. And he opened it up and he told, he used to write in fanzines about comic books. And he told me without looking who the artist was that did the cover and the fact that he didn't do the inside because they wanted somebody that could do hands really well on the cover. And then blah, blah, blah. And I was just like, whoa, man, I struck gold with that one. Yeah.
Right.
And he was very grateful. It's a $3 comic book. He stood there and talked to me about that comic for 5 minutes.
That's cool.
It was really cool, but I understand. I mean, I bought a bass, and that's how I got to interview Gene Simmons.
Right.
But to be fair, I mean, what's the difference between doing that or somebody hopping a fence and trying to get into to meet somebody or whatever? I just took advantage of the time I had. I was buying a bass regardless.
So would you have him write on your bass? Did he write anything or
God of Thunder and Rock and Roll? Very
good. That's cool.
It's just,
that was the same deal. And like I said, we've talked about this on the show before, but seeing Gene, my whole thing was, I'm going to get a bumper. I'm going to get a bumper from Gene. I'm going to get a bumper from Gene. I'm going to get a bumper from Gene. Had my phone set ready to fucking record the bumper from Gene. And I got in there and my mind just went, blah, 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 blah. And then I got all kind of, and at the time I was like, yeah, go ahead. Thank you for signing my shit. And I walked out. I'm like going, I didn't get the bumper. It's like, but it was just, you just can't, you got to really plan that shit. I mean,
the funniest part about that was it was the following weekend that Bill and I were going to see Gene.
And I said, well, you guys get the fucking bumper.
We gave him such a hard time for not getting a bumper.
And they didn't
got
get
in there
one.
and we got to talking to Gene and having such a good time, just conversing, that it slipped all of our minds. None of us got a bumper. None of us even thought about it. Hell, I did good to remember to get a fucking picture.
So can I Gene bash for 1 second? Real quick?
Go ahead.
Now, and I like say this is another. I say I love Gene to death, but okay. So when I was buying the Vault a couple years ago, I watched a interview or listened to an interview, and I think it was with Mitch LaFon. And I wish I would try to find that again today to re-listen to it, because I wanted to make sure that I'm quoting him in exact words. But I remember him talking about the vault and saying that this vault, we made X amount of vaults. They're all going to be, this is one of these things where you're going to buy it through GeneSimmons.com, and we're going to do this, we're going to do it says that you're going to pay for the vault. You'll never, ever, ever see this vault for less than, for this, it's never going to be, you're not going to find one without an autograph. This is one, bullshit. Guess what? They're on fucking Amazon for $500. They're selling the ones that they didn't sell. And the thing is, would I have waited and got one of them? Maybe, because I really wanted the stuff. I wanted the book and the CDs, because I didn't have any of the bootlegs. Was buying the experience with him worth the $2,000, sort of? And then I got to see, of course, Mrs. Vinnie Vincent in her pantsuit. But anyway, but on top of all that, though, it's just one of those things where it's like, man, don't get yourself caught up in all those, it's never going to happen, or this is never going to do. That's called a lie,
where you're saying that and you're kind of blaming Gene, I don't necessarily know that Gene is the one that's on the hook for all of that stuff, because I'm sure that he made a deal with some record company or some publisher.
Rhino.
Yeah.
Wasn't it Rhino?
Well, Rhino has these things.
I never got the vault, so I'm not sure.
But I'm just saying, well, yeah, it was through, whatever company it was, but it was told from there that they were going to make X amount. They were all going to be these limited editions, all personally delivered. You're never going to ever see one. And there was like 500 of them that they're selling now at $500.
Well, I think that they probably thought more people were going to snatch them right up than did.
You know what? But it's kind of, it doesn't.
I get what you're saying.
It's one of those things. It's like, God damn it. I enjoyed what I did, but if, for me, $2,000's a lot of money, but yeah, I could afford it. But you know what? If it was somebody who was really scraping their dimes and really was, I really want this, but I can't afford this, but I'm going to really do this because I'm never going to ever, because Gene told me I'm never going to be able to buy this for cheaper. And then it comes out for $500, but my kids didn't fucking eat for like 6 months. It kind of irks me a little bit, but anyway, but that's just the way business runs.
Well, so, my experience wasn't perfect either.
Right.
I got my vault I ordered my vault for the cruise.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that. You had
and we had some guy hijack the whole freaking thing. Stand there. He's wearing his makeup, I believe, was like the back of Hotter Than Hell, where it's got a little bit of everything.
Sure. And,
he gets to ask Gene a question. Meanwhile, I'm raising my hand because I have legit questions like, I'll get to me in a second. And, so this guy, Gene, first of all, got 3 or 4 questions about how he knows Trump and can he get weed legalized? Can he talk to Trump about weed? And Gene, the first time, was like, well, this is what I can tell you. Trump is pro weed. He's pro legalizing weed. He goes, I believe what he said was he thinks people going to jail for it is stupid. I believe that's what he said. But then the next guy got up and did the same damn thing. And then the next guy did the same. Okay, then I'm fucking horse shacking it. Nobody.
Mr. Got it.
It's like nobody. And then another guy's talking about the fucking set list. It's like,
Bill,
how don't you know the answer to this question, sir? I understand. Everybody here understands. They're not changing the set list. Why are you asking? And he's challenging Gene. People will love. Yes, people will love. 5 people, 20 people, baby. not everybody, blah, blah, blah. And I'm sitting there, I'm thinking, oh my God, nobody's asking the question that needs to be answered. Meanwhile, this guy in this makeup stands up immediately, holds his whatever it was, phone right in front of Gene's face and tries to get him to endorse some doctor or chiropractor or something. And it's going on uncomfortably for 5 minutes. It felt like, why? He's good. He's great. He's blah, blah, blah. And Gene's like, oh, well, I don't really know anything about him. Well, why won't you endorse him? Well, you just did, blah, blah, blah. Meanwhile, now listen, you guys know my girlfriend, Karen. You know her. She's she's not conservative, but she's very straight-laced, except when she's not. And she literally leans into me and goes, I'm literally about to stand up and yell, Gene, stop this guy from talking and I'll show you my tits.
She'd do anything for you. I'm telling you.
No joke. Guess what happens right after that?
She gets up and shows him her tits.
He cuts all the interviews off.
Wow. Isn't that crazy?
Meanwhile,
Mr. Jerkoff messes it up.
One person in the entire place raised their hand and said, what was it like to be on stage with Bruce and Ace yesterday?
Yeah.
The day before, KISS is on stage with Bruce and Ace and Tommy. Ace and Tommy are sitting right freaking next to each other. They're playing high-fiving and fist bumping. I'm like, this is
I remember that.
Nightmare.
I remember that.
What is going on? Nobody asked that question. I'm standing there going, what the hell is happening? Weed and setlists and chiropractors.
Karen should have showed tits earlier and got that shit taken care of. Done.
I'm telling you right now. Look in these eyes.
Okay.
This is the Matrix bullshit right here.
Guarantee.
They knew I was gonna look right now. I'm seeing a bunch of twos and nose and they're just falling down.
It's just like that comic book, just like a damn comic book, isn't it?
Bullshit. I'm so mad. I'm still mad. And let me tell you, every time I see that guy on the boat, okay.
Did he make it through the cruise, or did he get thrown overboard at some point?
No, of course. But it's like, look, I understand you wanted to ask your question, but you just hijacked the whole thing for personal.
You fucked it up for everybody. Is what you did
for personal gain or something like that. I don't know. Did he work for the guy? Was he the guy? I didn't even catch on. But you just hijacked the whole thing. Then, when I filled out my thing for what I wanted to get put on the vault, they told me only 2 lines. I couldn't get everything that I wanted. It just was 2 lines. You had people with full verses of shit on there.
I only had one thing. He only did. See, what did he do for me? 2 lines? Was it one? He said it says 2 dentists from one very attractive man to another, or a powerful and attractive man to another. Is what he said on mine.
Is that what you asked for?
That's what I asked for.
Okay, but I've seen people with like the chorus to Naked City.
It's like.
And then they told me it's 2 lines, and I don't know who that has to do with, but I was disappointed because I just spent $2,000, and by me I mean Karen.
That's kind of a bummer.
Alan caught that. Alan, you caught that.
I missed it. What did I miss?
You have to play back.
You have to go play back.
Yeah, I have to. All right. So anyway, you mentioned too while we were sitting there, we're gonna just keep slamming through this.
I'm sorry. I apologize.
No. That's the whole thing where I'm just keeping things rolling. So anyway, you talked about Bruce and Ace playing together. Let's talk about Bruce's set list. Did you see that show?
Did you see both nights?
I saw both nights.
Oh, there was 2 nights? Okay. Well,
I only got an indoor and an out. Bruce finally got an indoor show after how many years?
Well, November 2nd. What is November 2nd? Is that the indoor or outdoor?
I believe November 2nd was the indoor show.
Indoor show.
Yeah. Okay, well, that's what I got. Let's talk about that first. All right, so I got Exciter.
That's the suckiest of the 2.
All right, well, hold on. Let me go back then.
No. Talk about the indoor show first.
Let me see if I can find it real quick. So the first, hold on. Let me go back to 2.
Mr.
It'll only take a second.
That's what she said.
There's a black and blue. Here it is, Bruce. 30th. All right. So we got Exciter, Unholy.
All right, hold on a second. Are you on the
Okay.
30th or are you on the 2nd?
30th.
Okay.
So I know it starts out the same. So anyway.
With Exciter, yeah.
Okay. So it started out with Exciter, Unholy. Then number 3 is Secretly Cruel / All Night. Goddamn, we can't get away from that song. And Trial by Fire.
Well, hey, imagine that. Those are all Bruce Kulick songs.
Yeah, no shit. All right. So anyway, 4 was Dreaming, Eyes of Love, which was an Eric Carr cover. Can You Feel It, which is an Eric Carr cover. Little Caesar, All's Hell's Breaking Loose, All American Man, which I guess was that.
Well, they went from
dedicated-
Eric
His brother.
Carr tribute to Bob.
That's
tribute.
what I'm saying. They did
Yeah.
dedicate that to Bob. So I figured it was. Well, All American
Well, there's
Man.
a whole list of those songs that were for Bob.
I'm sorry. Did I mention All Hell's Breaking Loose? I don't think I said that.
Yeah.
one. Little Caesar, All Hell's Breaking
Because
Loose.
I said All Hell's Breaking Loose is
Okay.
an Eric Carr co-write.
Okay. All American Man, Rockin' USA, Larger Than Life. Then they have a Nowhere to Run / Tonight You Belong to Me / Naked City / Wouldn't You Like to Know Me / I'm a Legend Tonight.
And those are all songs that Bob
Right.
played on studio.
Then they did Goodbye, which was Paul Stanley cover, also with
Bob.
Bob. And then 14 was God Gave Rock and Roll to You, was an Argent cover, and then Star Single Banner. So that was the 30th set on Bruce.
So,
Right. Now I saw everything up to the maybe 2 songs before the end because Courtney was doing her show
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
down, and I think it was either upstairs or downstairs, but I wanted to go and see Courtney.
Sure. I've never
Um,
got to see her perform. I want to see her perform sometime. I've been around her for what now? How many years? Is it 5, 6 years now?
Yeah.
I've never heard her do her comedy act.
Yeah,
one of
she's
these
great.
days I'm sure she is.
Well,
She's-
before you jump over to the second set list of Bruce,
Sure.
let's go back and talk about, how cool is it that we're coming up on the 30th anniversary of the passing of Eric Carr. And
Sure.
this is,
Right.
30 years after he's gone, his material is finally getting performed
right.
in public.
Right.
That's good. That's
Now, with you having been there, Joe, what kind of reaction did those songs get from the crowd?
They got a good reaction. I will not lie, I didn't know these songs. I never heard these songs before. I don't know how that's possible, but I mean, you can't hear everything. At least I can't. But they were good.
Well, if
I'm
I had
used-
known you several years ago, I could have given you a copy of Rockology because Eric's sister sent me a whole bunch of stuff to give
Oh.
away on my old radio station. And I had a
That's cool.
bunch of copies of that.
See, I've never heard it either. I wouldn't
Yeah.
know. I'm like you, Joe. I wouldn't. I mean, I would enjoy them, but I don't know them. I couldn't sing along with them, or
Yeah.
go along with them. So
Yeah, I don't know. I'm you have KISS fans that are also into Union and also into
Sure.
Vinnie Vincent's crap and all, I'm KISS fan.
I get that.
That's what I listen
Ask
to.
me how many Paul or Peter Criss solo albums I have.
Not even the
one.
original.
Not
I have
even
Chris
the
Cat.
originals.
I have Chris Cat. I do have that
I saw
on
Chris
CD.
Cat at Circuit City once when it first came out. And I thought I'm gonna come back and pick that up later and check it out. And by the time I got back, it was gone, and I never saw it again after that. For
I had it.
years.
I,
It was
I
like
bought
30
it.
year ago. Circuit City closed.
I know.
Like 30
That tells you
years
anything.
It was only 25 years
He had
ago
to run-
because I had just moved to Evansville.
He had to run a Blockbuster before he went to Circuit City.
Yeah. Listen, if you listen real closely, I bet your brain can hear the sound of a cassette tape opening from Blockbuster. You know that sound? It's embedded in our head.
Uh-huh.
It is, I'm telling you.
It's that plastic pop.
You know what I'm talking about. Dennis
Oh, I
is hearing it
know.
right
Right,
now.
I've been there. Trust me. All right. So anyway, we want to talk about then the November 2nd.
Yeah.
Okay. So
I was second row for that
Ooh,
show.
there you go. Awesome. And I tell you what, who was it Brent and Todd And who else was playing
Zach
with him that night?
Stone or Zach Throne.
Okay, yeah,
They keep-
those guys are Todd's just a fucking fantastic singer. I love him.
And the guys picked on me this week. They told me that I had Zach on our show, and I don't remember that at all.
Crazy.
I mean, but like you guys, I've done 300. Next week will be 350.
Wow.
There's no way I can remember everybody that's been on my show.
I can't remember what I did last week, much less I did 300.
I hear you.
I finally got around to redesigning our YouTube thing, the header for our YouTube channel. And I was trying to find pictures of all the celebrities that have been on the show. So I had to go back on our website. And I was looking at all the different, like, oh yeah, I forgot. Oh yeah, that guy was. Oh shit, that guy. Shit,
that's
Jeff
awesome.
5 times. What?
Yeah, I don't remember. So anyway, all right. So November 2nd, you had Exciter, followed by Unholy, Tears Are Falling, Who Wants to Be Lonely, Thou Shall Not, Radar Love / Making Love. That would have been a kind of a cool little mashup.
Yeah, they kind of started with one, went to the other, and went back to the original.
Oh, that's cool. Okay.
Yeah.
And then Let's Put the X in Sex. They could have left that one out for me. I would. What?
Didn't Eric Singer get on stage for that? Does it say?
I don't know.
that?
It does not say. It doesn't.
Domino.
No, he got
Domino. Yeah, Domino.
Well, I
So
wasn't
8
even on the
was.
boat, and I know that.
So 8 was You Make Me Rock Hard.
You're welcome.
Jeez, I know. Domino, and it was with Eric Singer, of course. Jungle, which I would love to have heard. Jungle. I bet Jungle was fucking fantastic.
Yeah.
Joe, tell me, was it fantastic?
I love that song.
It's fucking
So
awesome.
I love that album.
I love that album.
I love that album.
Bill and I are fucking. I actually own that album. I love that album.
Yeah,
right.
I love that record. I think that it is way underrated.
Very underrated.
I think I have it on vinyl.
I do too.
Yeah, I love that record.
I do too. I love that album. It's
way underrated.
Awesome.
It's so heavy.
Yeah, and it's a Bruce album.
It is a Bruce album.
All right.
Top to
So
bottom.
Jungle, let's see. All Hell's Breaking Loose, Forever. Then we went into the Car Jam, Paralyzed, I Just Wanna, Spit, and then of course Star Spangled Banner for the ending.
Which is cool. Excuse me. I'm sorry. It's cool to see Bruce do the Star Spangled Banner because I'm not coughing.
No, I was gonna say, at least you're not choking to death. I mean, yawning's fine. Just don't choke on us, man.
I don't want to die.
They have like one of those new things too. You can buy yourself that you can like suck your shit out of your. You seen those?
Damn, yeah, I have. I want one really bad.
You need one of those. I'm gonna send you one for Christmas.
Oh man, those things are like $80. Don't
I
spend
don't care.
$80.
As long as you're choking, but if it saves you.
If I'm ever choking and I'm around you, just put your mouth over mine and go like that. It'll work out.
I'll get from behind, do the Heimlich.
I'll take anything from behind, Dennis, that you can give me.
And some.
Yeah.
Anyway, so that's awesome. So yeah, I would have loved to seen the Bruce set. So I know, and here it says, I'm just going through. So did you see the Night Ranger? Did you see Night Ranger play?
Okay. Yes. And
I bet it was fucking awesome.
Fucking awesome band, man. It's like, so this is what I can tell you. I love Night Ranger.
Never seen Night Ranger live.
I had never seen them live either. I love the hits. Karen, before we got on the boat, was like, I don't really know much Night Ranger. But by the time they were finished, she was like, I knew like 6 songs. That was awesome. And and of course, the for me, hearing like, my favorite song that they did, Don't Tell Me You Love Me. I love that song.
Oh, it's fucking awesome.
Sister Christian, but they played Damn Yankee songs too.
That's cool.
And that made me very happy because I thought that band was really good. And there's no way it wouldn't have been. They have all the best parts of all the other bands, like Tommy Shaw. And anyway, but So that was really awesome. And by the time that thing was over, I was like, damn, I'm so glad I saw Night Ranger now.
Right.
And then Brad Gillis.
Oh, he's fantastic. And he stepped in for fucking Randy, with Ozzy. I mean, that dude fucking, saved Ozzy at that
He's a
point,
beast. But I'm a guitar player myself. I'm I teach guitar for a living. That's what I do. And I am at no way, shape, or form a Brad Gillis style guitar player. Okay.
Oh, he's a monster.
By the time that guy was done with the show, I was a 3-legged person. I was walking out.
Yeah. Polo becomes a tripod.
I was a tripod. I was like, that dude's bad, man. And when he takes that Floyd Rose and he does that, smacks he smacks it so it vibrates. It's just so awesome. Cool. Like, and Don't Tell Me You Love Me, he does it, and you're just like, I was emailing a buddy of mine so I was able to, through Facebook, even from the middle of the ocean, send him messages through Facebook Messenger. And he loves Brad Gillis. So when I took a picture of it, he was like, where the hell are you that you're standing in front of Brad Gillis? Wow. I was like, the Atlantic. I was in the Gulf of Mexico actually at that point. Brad Gillis, a badass, man.
So I'm not a bit. I mean, I said I know with you've got him. Everybody basically I think is original. I don't know about the bass player, but whatever happened to Jeff Watson, the other guitar player? I don't know. Because I know there's somebody else that's playing that part now. And
honestly, I don't know.
Watson had that 7. He had that fucking real big hammer on on that thing. It was his big thing.
Yeah. It was like a 7-finger.
7-finger fucking tapping deal. Yeah. And it was like, but Jeff, I don't know whatever happened to Jeff. I mean, everybody else has pretty well stayed in that band except for him, and I think the keyboard player. But,
I'll tell you this: the other major highlight for me was Queensryche.
Right.
Sort of Queensryche. It was like Queensryche light.
That's what I was going to ask you. So as far as the whole cruise itself,
would you call them Queens Light?
And look, I don't know how you guys feel about this, but I cannot stand any band that only has 2 original members left, and they call themselves by the name of the band they started with. It drives me crazy.
Yeah, I know how that is.
And then if you don't even have the original lead singer,
right?
Okay, so here's my.
And then you have 2 bands of the same group out.
Yes.
And that's just not one. That's multiple bands that are doing that now.
Right. So because there's like 5 Rats, 16 Great Whites,
Queensryche.
So this is what I'll say.
Guns whittled back down.
LA Guns is
That's
one.
only one now. They got the Phil and Tracy.
And now you got
trademark, so now it's only one LA Gun.
And now you got, and then what's so sad is you got. I mean, we've had Rudy on our show, but now you got Rudy out
Quiet Riot
with Quiet Riot, and Rudy's not even an original Quiet Riot guy.
Man, I opened for LA Guns one time when I was in a band. Opened for LA Guns.
That's cool.
And Dawkins. The same night, I remember one of my buddies who was in the band with me goes, Tracy Guns just walked up and said we were good, and I was like drooling in front of him.
That's awesome.
But so all right, so here's my honest opinion about fake right.
Fake right.
They were awesome. I'm not gonna lie, man. Yeah. The singer and here's the thing about me. I know about KISS. Look at my room. I'm stupid. I know about that band. And when it comes to
KISS, you really like KISS?
Just a little bit. And when it comes to when it comes to a ton of other music, I'm a casual fan of tons of other stuff. If people look through my record collection, they're usually so surprised to see Wham and Lady Gaga and Christina Aguilera and No Doubt, and it's not all rock and metal, but Queensryche is a big that's a huge thing for me. And I don't know the name of the singer in that band right now. I bet you guys do.
Todd
I have no
Latour.
idea.
Who is it?
Todd Latour.
Todd Latour. He
You're
was
better
amazing.
than I am because I don't.
He was amazing. He really was. I'm not gonna lie. To me, he's no Jeff Tate, but he still was amazing. And the only reason I say he's no Jeff Tate is that Jeff Tate was the original guy. It's just like saying Tommy Thayer is no Ace Frehley, you know. And so I like the fact that I like the fact that he's done records with Queensryche, you know. I like that. But I prefer my Reich with Tate. And I know that's not ever going to happen again, you know. It's like, you know, I think, what do you do? Pull a knife on him or something? He pulled a knife.
He spit in that one guy's face and a bunch of, and he's, who knows?
Rocket Field's not there anymore either.
We weren't there. I mean, we weren't there to see what happened, to see, you know, there was some issues. I think his wife, you know, there was some Yoko bullshit going on too on the whole bullshit. So
that's
who knows?
Crazy.
So did you see Black and Blue?
Yes, I saw them when Tommy came out and played with them.
What song or songs did he play?
I don't remember.
Was it Hold On to 18? That's the only Black and Blue song I know.
No, there's
I wouldn't even know.
Hold On to 18, Miss Mystery.
I remember that one. That's when they're playing on the airplane, isn't it?
Yeah,
Is that when they're playing on the airplane?
Yeah, he said that was before Tommy was on though. He said, "Let's get on the airplane wing," and I was like, "All right, they're gonna play Miss Mystery," and then Tommy came out and did a few songs, and it was really good because you could see Tommy was really enjoying being out there. And when they finished the set, Tommy walked over and was like, "I'm not done. Let's go. Let's keep going." And he played like one or two more songs after it was all over. Tommy was like, I really want to do this one, which was kind of cool to see.
That is really cool, though. I mean, that is cool for him.
You know, sometimes it's not such a bad thing to shack up with that ex-girlfriend once in a while.
I don't know anything about that.
It sounds good, Joe. Like I said, I haven't been on one of these cruises. My whole thing is I can't do one of these cruises because that's a big vacation to take without my wife. And Kelly has no interest. Number one, she doesn't want to go on a cruise, and number two, to be on a boat with a bunch of KISS fans for that many days. I never hear the end of it.
If you're stuck on the same boat with me and Joe both.
Yeah, no shit. No, I'd enjoy that, but anyway. So it's just one of those things that it's something I'll never do. But like I said, I like live vicariously through you guys, and see what you do.
We really got to talk about this. Why? So seriously, you would go if you could?
I'm not going to spend that much money on a vacation.
Okay. All right,
myself,
I'm with you there.
Because if I'm going to spend that much money on a vacation, I'm going to do something with my wife.
You are husband of the century.
Well, I'm actually in not this year, but the next year we're actually going to go to Paris, and I'm actually going to we're taking a river cruise in Bordeaux through the wine country for 2 weeks.
That is amazing.
So we're saving up for that.
You will enjoy yourself.
So we're saving up for that, So KISS is going to have to wait. I'm going to be doing Paris and Bordeaux.
Yeah, that doesn't sound like it sucks. Let me ask you this though: if your wife were to tell you, "Hey, why don't you go on the cruise with?"
She tells me that every year. She tells me that every year.
Man, you are a really good husband.
And I honestly just can't. Well, that and by the end of the year, we've already got our vacations already fixed up, and it's just always at a bad time.
Yeah,
and it's just, it's actually through her birthday too. November 2nd is her birthday.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's just never really, I don't know.
Yeah. No, I get it. That's pretty cool. That's cool.
It is.
Maybe they'll do one that you could go on. That would be awesome.
So
I do a Bordeaux wine cruise. Maybe we can.
with KISS.
KISS. Joe.
Yes, sir.
Non-artist related, was there a highlight of the KISS cruise for you? And was there a low point?
Okay, I blew chunks off the side of a catamaran.
Wow.
That was the first time on any cruise that I threw up, and I wasn't
the
even
first
on the
night?
ship. No. The second day that we were somewhere, we were in Honduras. I got on a catamaran, and I guess it just rained, so the waves were rough. But we got to where I was going to snorkel, and I was okay. I wasn't 100%, but I was 73.635%.
You just wanted to chum for the fish. That way they would get more fish involved.
Okay, well, this is the thing. I didn't eat before I went, and I still took Dramamine. And my understanding is that's where my mistake was. Had I eaten, it had been in there with food, and everything would have been fine. Well, I get to where we snorkeling. I brought my own mask because I don't want that Honduran COVID shit masks, that every fucking guy on the planet has stuck his face in right after his wife. And
maybe
I don't
you could have one that somebody has a bunch of cocaine beforehand. You could be.
I have one of those full face masks that you can see.
Sure. Oh, yeah, that's even better.
It's awesome. So I'm stoked. I get in the water, and the waves are beating the shit out of me. And I got about 50 yards off of the boat. I'm in deep water, but I can put my face in the water and I can see fish swimming around. And I'm like, all right, this is coming up. This is pretty awesome. Don't scare me. Jaws is my favorite movie of all time. Just so you know, I don't fear sharks. I'll show you something. This is something that I keep secret here. Look at this.
Secret.
This is one of the only non-KISS things you see what that says right there?
A great white shark.
Richard Dreyfuss.
Wow.
Right. Okay. All right. So anyway, I had to meet Richard Dreyfuss, and I'm pretty sure when I met him, he had COVID.
It's like, hi, nice to meet you.
Some lady was feeding him a ham sandwich. It was weird. So I'm in the water, and I'm like, oh my God, I'm gonna throw up. So maybe if I get on the boat, I'll be okay. So at this point now, the waves are seriously, I'm being pushed out to sea. So they said, if anything is wrong, raise your hand and somebody on a kayak will come and get you and pull you to the boat. So I raised my hand and let the humiliation start.
You raised your hand at a Gene Simmons interview and it didn't do you any good.
No, that's true. That's true. I raised my hand and the bastard doesn't come by on a kayak. A guy swims up to me and pulls me in while swimming. So instead of it taking 1 minute to get back to the boat, it takes 5. I swallow 6.5 gallons of salt water. The boat has a ladder that's at an angle, so it's like a staircase. And I'm looking at this lady in front of me trying to get on, and she finally gets on, and I go to get on, and the ladder is going out of the water, in the water, out of the water, in the water. I'm like, this is how I'm gonna die. I get on the boat. I'm sitting next to Karen. She's like, you're good. Don't worry. She's being Karen, love my girl. And that's when it came. And of course, I hadn't eaten anything. So it was all dry heaves.
Right.
And I don't know about y'all, but I am the noisiest fucking vomiter.
Dude. I am.
Yeah.
No, I'll put myself up to get anybody in this place.
It was awful. And I'm sitting there thinking, literally, while this is going on, she's never going to move in with me now.
Oh, my God. She knows everything.
And she's hearing.
She sees this KISS room. She's going to have to. I mean. I mean,
It was awful, awful. I threw up for approximately 90 seconds. That's literally it. Okay.
oh, that's nothing.
It is nothing. However, I still, because I went out in the water, right? And came back so quickly, I still had 25 minutes of the other people swimming around and waiting for them all to get back on the boat, which, by the way, didn't take 1 minute because the ladder was in the water and out of the water. Then, as we're going back, that's when they decided to serve food, which, by the way, I didn't want any. It felt like how I believe. Now, I don't know about y'all, but I'm a God-fearing man. I live here in the South, man. And I believe that when I go to heaven, God is going to hold me by my neck for maybe 2 or 3 minutes, and all the blood is going to rush to my head, and it's going to feel like any moment, my head. That's what it felt like. And all I kept thinking was, Karen, please kill these people and take over the boat. Just get me back to land. And it was it felt like
you know what that was? That was a Matrix moment again.
Sons of bitches.
It was a Matrix moment.
I was gonna figure some shit out.
They give you some fucking food after the fact. When you needed it, you didn't have it, and then they're feeding it to you.
Here's the best part. If I'm not mistaken, because I was in and out, the food was in like this white bucket.
Chum bucket. It's a chum bucket. I'm telling you.
I was like, and it was watermelon and maybe pineapple, and then I want to say some chicken parts.
It's Matrix shit. I'm telling you.
It's that stuff that they drink from the Matrix. Anyway, Karen, I don't think ate anything. I think she did have a drink. And of course, my other friends, Bruce and Lonnie, they're just perfectly fine. They're snorkeling and they're coming back, and you can hear them talking about, oh my God, I think I saw a beluga whale or some shit like that. I missed out on everything.
You didn't. It was the Matrix. It was all fake. You didn't see it.
So mad.
So Joe, if that was your highlight, what was your low point?
No, that was my low point. Honestly, and I mean this like completely and sincerely, and I know you guys believe me. Just seeing people like being in a place like that. I mean, since COVID started, I talk about my girlfriend all the time, and that's just because I'm fucking lucky to have one. Look at me. But the truth is, she is super amazing. She 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, she's thinking about everybody else but herself. And I had the opportunity to see her on a boat, cut loose a little bit, have some fun. And in all honesty, we don't live in the same house. We've been together. This is our 8th year, and we don't live together. And before COVID, I would spend a couple nights a week at her house. And then once COVID happened, I wasn't spending any time at her house. And my father, unfortunately, passed away this year, but I was here for him, and so I didn't get a chance to see Karen all that much. We took, since COVID, maybe one little trip together last Christmas. So, and then I got to hang out with Sonny and for more than a day,
Yeah.
And I got to talk to Sonny and I got to hang out with his brothers, and I met the guys from the Shout It Out Loud cast, which, I mean, they're like a appetizer. I don't really give a shit about those guys, but I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. Let me tell you, turns out they're really, really awesome and funny.
Cool. They're funny.
And they are super knowledgeable about music. When it comes to, I am completely inferior. But I tried to hang. I was like, oh yeah, that's how you feel? That's a good opinion. I like that. I don't know shit. I don't know. I couldn't go on that show.
I'm right there with you, man.
If they don't talk about KISS, I'm lost.
Is that the one they did? Like, you guys did the thing down there with them with the did a quiz with them, didn't you? Or a Rockin' Pod?
No, I don't think no.
No, I thought maybe
Sonny might have. I don't think I got to do anything.
I can't remember.
No, I don't think they were at the Rockin' Pod. Now that I think about it, because they were doing the cruise.
No, that's right. They weren't. You're right.
But anyway, and meeting those guys was really awesome, and seeing my friends that, you know, I have a couple of buddies, they're both named Joe. I got to see them, Joe Liscon and Joe C.
So it was
And
the
then
three Joe Migos.
it was. And then my buddy Jeff Trott, who did, you know, those trading cards that we had.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did those.
If I'd have thought about that, I'd have had mine. They're sitting right back in there. I'd have had them right here.
He designed them and he printed them for us and had them cut for us, and he's really amazing. And when I went to meet Gene, I took his official real sonic boom to get it signed by Gene. My friend Ken Withers, who I met standing in line to meet that chick that used to be in KISS, and him and his wife. One year, KISS Kruise 9, I was sharing a room with other guys that I had never met, and it was so crowded. I just decided I was going to sleep in the cafeteria. It was just too hot in there. And then Ken and Kara, this was their 1 year anniversary. They took me in. You know,
I remember you talking about that.
So when I went to meet Gene, I took something of Ken's. He actually bought. This is so cool. The Animalized Live Uncensored on VHS.
Sure.
He bought Bruce Kulick's copy.
Wow.
Bruce put his copy out for sale and he snatched it up. So Bruce had signed it, and then I got Gene to sign it.
That's cool.
And you know, so these are all my buddies. And I got to hang out with them, and there was a ton more. You know, it's just Steve, and Steve was there, and
that's cool.
He's there every year, I think. From Potter Than Hell, and I think he's there every year.
Yeah, Steve's been there quite a bit. So
yeah, and so that's really, but truthfully, I mean, just hanging out with Karen is awesome. I can't wait until I can move in, with her. We've got a lot of. I'm not trying to sound sappy, but there's a lot of things that are that we have to put ahead of ourselves. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Yeah.
So I had 5 days with Karen, semi alone. When we went to bed, we would lay in bed and we would watch, TV and hang out. And that was really cool to be able to.
I think 8 years, the trial time's going really good. I think you're through your trial period. I think you like each other.
Yeah. Yeah. I tell
she's
people all
such
the
a
time.
sweetheart. She's such a sweetheart.
She is. We have never raised our voices to each other, not one time. And
sweetheart.
I don't. I know people are turning off your show now. I fucked it all up. I'm sorry.
No, you didn't.
No,
people already people turned it off whenever they seen we're on. That's when they turn us off at that point.
Whatever.
Go, oh shit!
And I will tell you this. I think I'm not 100%.
Okay.
I think on a Halloween, I saw KISS for the last time. That's really hard for me to handle.
It is kind of hard.
I mean, yeah, that's what she said. But I say that every once in a while.
That's at least what
show.
What's the other guys? What's the guys that are hard to handle? Damn it.
Black Crows.
Black Crows. That's what the Black Crows say too. But anyway.
I had a guy one time tell me on my show that I'm like a pervy uncle when I say that. I'm like, the fuck are you talking about? It's from a damn TV show.
The picture that's on our T-shirt that we put out for the Click Tees, that picture was taken at the last time that probably I was seeing KISS, and Max and my son is actually in the background. And when I was not going to go see a KISS farewell tour show, and I saw 3 of them. And the third one that I saw was with my wife and my son and Alan and Bill, and all of us went to Indianapolis. And you know what? If that's the last time I've seen him, I'm fine with it. It was one of those things. I'm good. I'm in harmony. Did they here? Real quick question: did they say anything whatsoever about a final show on the tour or on the cruise?
Okay, so I believe that. Okay, so I missed the Q&A.
Okay.
There was a Q&A, and when I did hear Paul say,
okay,
that if I'm getting this right,
okay,
that 6-man cruises pretty much has the final say on the final show.
Really?
So I'm believing the final show ever will be on a cruise. The final live concert show,
Sure.
I didn't hear anything about. But
Okay.
from what I understand, when they're done touring, these cruises are going to keep going.
Sure.
Because it's just the end of the road. And I don't know why people don't understand that.
Right.
Oh, KISS is retiring. No,
No, they're going to retire.
I don't think they're retiring at all.
They're going to do pop-ups, and they're going to do corporate, and they're going to do whenever they get some money, they're going to do it. But
they're not doing Vegas.
No, but no shit.
That all happened while we were on the boat.
So
too.
so you think that was, I heard that was from non-sale. Is that true?
I don't know. I that there was
they said
a Rolling.
That's about the only reason that those things get canceled is because of low sales. So that's why
I don't know.
Well, supposedly it's being rescheduled to August.
Well, we'll wait and see
after they come back from Australia and stuff. So
yeah, we'll wait and see. Yeah. I'm not really sure if it was I mean, damn man, that concert's doesn't even happen until 2 months from now.
I know.
And how many seater is one of those places? I've never been to one of those.
I don't know.
I what is it, like 3,000 maybe?
I would say 3,000 max, probably 2,500 maybe.
So you're telling me that KISS can't sell out? I don't believe it. I don't know. I know that there was a really damning Rolling Stone article that came out, and then the next day they canceled Vegas.
Huh.
Yeah, it's all at this point. It's all hearsay. Who knows?
Yeah. And it could be sales. I have no idea, but it's just to me as a KISS fan, I don't want to believe
a sales thing. I think there's something going on behind the scenes that caused them.
Yeah,
and I don't even think it's the Fran Stuber thing. I think something else is going on.
Yeah, and then we do have to mention Paul's father passed away.
Yeah,
that sucks. 101 years old.
101 years and 7 months. That's a pretty good run.
Yeah, I was thinking about it. Paul Stanley is going to. And we all go through this. Most of us, anyway. But he had his father in more of his life than he's going to have without him. I
got to think about it too. His dad would have been almost in his 40s when he had Paul. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, that's super nuts.
Because he's Paul's 61, 62?
No, it's like 68.
68 now.
Oh, is he 68? Okay, so
is he 69?
So he'd been 30. So he'd been 30.
He was born in 52. So he's 69.
Yeah. I've lost track.
Anyway, Joe, we need to wrap this up. You want to plug the podcast Rock City?
Yeah. Thank you for that.
Sorry, we're not going to let. No, I'm kidding.
Fuck you guys.
I would never say that.
No, I wouldn't.
It would be more like up your nose with a rubber hose.
We got two different Welcome Back Carter references in one episode.
Yeah, I'll sling some more in there. Jewish Puerto Rican guy, Puerto Rican Jew, wasn't that what's his name?
Epstein's mother. You got a note from Epstein's mother.
Yeah, we do Podcast Rock City. If you're a KISS fan, it's live on YouTube and on Facebook every Sunday at 7 p.m. Eastern time. And then you can catch it anywhere you can get a podcast, Apple, Amazon, Google, all those freaking places. I lose track. Some of them, and you guys are the same way. Some of them I could find our podcast on. I don't ever remember saying, hey, put our podcast here.
Oh, yeah. I found us on Amazon podcast the other day. I'm like, holy shit.
How did that happen?
Alan goes, so we're on Amazon. I go, we are? Okay, well, that's
somewhere else. Nobody will listen to us.
We don't do these shows for other people. You know it.
Oh, I know. It's therapy for us.
It's hangout time with your friends.
I guarantee it.
Absolutely.
Yeah. But yeah, and it's live every week. And that's one of the fun things about the show is you can come on and interact with us while we're doing the show. Answer the questions, put in your 2 cents, which is a lot of fun. And, we try to put some of the comments on the screen. And even if they disagree with us, And yeah, it's a lot of fun. I don't know. I may be coming to the end soon.
Don't say that.
No. I mean, the band.
Since Karen moves in, and he'll be wanting to play husband all this time, or not husband, but just housemate.
We don't use the H.
I know.
Servant.
I know. Not servant. I forgot about that. Sorry.
Truthfully,
anyway.
listen. Truthfully, you guys, and Bill, who obviously isn't here because he hates me.
No, of course.
You guys. I mean, I met you guys at the Rockin' Pod, and I believe that we've become some of the best friends over this.
Fuck yeah.
And that's one of the
Chris
coolest things.
Zach.
Yes, absolutely. He worked that out. I remember at one point I had thought that it would be cool if I could take all of our podcast. This is before Rockin' Pod. I wanted to take all of our podcasts, right? And just get everybody together and say, we're no longer going to put these out publicly. We're going to put them on a website behind a paywall, right? And it was going to be super cheap. It wasn't going to be something like $50 a year, $100. It was going to be like $12 a year, right? Well, follow me on this, because it had nothing to do with greed or wanting money, but the whole point was so we could make money so we could all fly somewhere to be together.
Ta-da!
You see? And then, of course, I never did that because I'm the laziest fucking podcaster on the planet. And then one day I'm driving home from work and Sinzak calls me and goes, I got an idea. And I was like, that's a great idea. I'm so glad you're doing it. We have let me tell you, we have literally seen that man age 25 years in the past 4.
You're not wrong.
It's so funny because he'll start out at the very beginning of the planning stages. He's all excited. And then you can tell as it gets closer, and then he goes through that little doubt stage. There's this doubt where I don't know if shit's going to work. And we're like, everybody's like, come on, Chris, man. Everything's cool. Everything's good. Everything's good.
Yeah. And then having been on Chris's side of the thing,
I know there's a lot of it's a lot of work.
Oh, I can't even imagine.
When you get these has-beens that think they are still ours and their demands are just outrageous and ridiculous.
Right.
I totally understand why he has doubt. And
like I said, if it'd be Joe and I's deal, we probably would have never met.
No.
I'd be like going, fuck this. I ain't doing this.
There's no way. I do not have watch my show. I don't have any organizational skills. Somehow I have managed to get people for 8 years to watch and I don't know.
Believe it or not, you're funny.
Yeah,
I don't know about all that. I appreciate it, but I'm hanging out with you guys and you're cracking me up. Something about
because we're just self-deprecation. We're just stupid. That's our
We are not stupid, Dennis.
Okay, I'll be stupid for a while.
On that note, let us get out of here. Thanks again, Joe, for coming on the show.
Thank you, Joe.
We'll have you on again sometime soon.
I'm sure. And you didn't choke once.
We'll get Bill to schedule it so that when he fucks it up, then we'll know he doesn't like you.
Yeah, son of a bitch.
All right, people, visit agesofrock.com. Right. Check out our past episodes and social media links. And till next time, peace out.
Thanks for listening to the Ages of Rock podcast. If you haven't done so already, be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel, like us on Facebook, and most importantly, tell all your friends. Remember, you're never too old to rock. Until the next episode, peace out, folks.